I'm at 1310 Penbrooke Trail doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, anything that may be of concern to the buyer. I was told there is this line may have been lined. Originally this would have been cast iron on the inside and clay on the outside. And there's a very large tree here right in line with it. But we're going through an outside clean out, and I'm a little, hopefully things calm down. There's apparently there's a bee's nest right here next to the clean out, and so I'm trying to be as easy as possible. They've come out and checked me out. But if there's weird situations in the inspection, that might be me backing off of the clean out. But anyway, they have put a PVC clean out in. This would have originally been cast iron. So I'm going to go both directions if I can. I'm going to go back upstream towards the house and into the house, and then we'll also turn and go downstream out. So, first thing, we're going to go down, I'm going to go upstream back into the house to check out the cast iron. Now, cast iron, it's a pretty difficult material to gauge just due to the fact that it does rust, and so it always looks rough. And so in this case, what we're looking for is, any visible holes or anything in the line, any structural issues. But also with cast iron, I always like to warn people that there is a lot higher, it's more likely to have soft clogs, and what that is like excessive toilet paper. Wet wipes are a bad thing to use in any sewer line, but they're in cast iron, it's a lot more likely to cause backups because they don't break down. So if they do get caught on the rough interior of the pipe, and that's mainly what it is, just how rough the pipe surface is on the inside, that it tends to catch stuff, as it does tend to catch, like anything going by, a lot easier just due to the rough interior of the pipe. So looks like the line kind of zigzags through here. It looks really good actually. So this may have been cleared out at some point. Come on, guys. Yeah, they don't want to leave me alone, that's for sure. And if I get stung, you're going to see me kind of run out of here like a crazy person. There's a little bit of that's probably a connection there. It's usually where you have this buildup of cast iron. But my camera sometimes won't go because I'm pushing in a weird way. And so I think that's about sometimes you'll have buildups like that right next to where the connections are. Yeah, and that's going to be about as far as I can go. That's right there. Oh, nope, I was able to get it. I'm just worried the more I bounce around here, I'm going to get hit with these bees and It's getting hard to push because I've made so many turns. Looks like this is we are about 40 feet. I have to be back towards the I just can't push any further up that because of the multiple turns. But the interior looks really good. You can see how well the cast iron actually keeps shape. And that was the big thing, like you could see where it built up further back by the fixtures where they come in. They'll have just like mineral buildup and rust buildup at those connections. It is open and flowing, so that's good. You just have to watch, like I mentioned, flushing the wrong thing down the line. Just due to, again, the roughness of the inside of the pipe. But as long as you just use normal materials, toilet paper, and stay away from the wet wipes or women products, anything like that down there, should be in good shape. So now we are going downstream. I may have to run some water here. There we go. So it does look like it was lined. You can see the numbers on the inside, the part numbers of the liner. So you can tell it's been lined. So this would have been originally clay. This line looks great. They always had good pitch. Sometimes when they line, the lines themselves don't always have good pitch, and when they line, they'll still have some bellies and stuff in there. But just got buzzed by one there. Hit me in the face. So do not want to get stung in the face. I'm sure this is there's a little bit of damage to the liner as they made that turn, but nothing bad. And then it looks like we go into clay for a couple feet here, and then we're back and we're into the main. So the only clay left on this line is right at the main, which is good. Just means that they did line the entire thing all the way out to the main, and that last little section is not a concern, just because that is owned by the sewer department. And so we'll pull back, and we'll continue inspecting as we pull back. But the line looks really good. Didn't see anything of any concern. All the liner's in good shape. Like you said, there's a little bit of a thin spot there, but that's not structurally the pipe is fine. It just where they made that turn, it's a little thin. But The only reason I'm sure that this was lined at the time was to keep the tree roots out of it. Structurally, the line is in good shape. You can tell by the pitch and everything of the line that this all is in good shape. Even the cast iron on the inside looked really good. It was holding shape. Like I mentioned earlier, sometimes that cast iron can like wear channels out really bad, and the channeling can cause issues as far as blockages. But even the shape of that line in the cast iron and the inside looked really good. A couple spots of normal buildup where the fixtures come in. But this line looks really good. This black stuff here is what is the result of the cast iron. Cast iron tends to, when it rusts, it creates the iron. When it oxidizes, creates that black rust, and so it's a pretty normal substance to find in there. But we're all the way out of the clean out and back out, and the line looked great. Like I said, we went about 40 feet to the interior into the cast iron, and it starts to taper down there as it goes back to the kitchen, and that's where I couldn't push because I'd gone through a couple turns in the cast iron. I'd actually gone up from this clean out. It goes in and then it goes up because obviously coming downstream it would drop. But that usually opposes the pushing that I'm doing as I'm trying to push uphill. And then once we got back in there with the little more of the rust build up there at the connections, which is normal, like I said, it's just prevents me from getting a whole lot behind the camera and pushing further back up. But we did do, we're probably pretty close to the kitchen at that point, 40 feet inside the house. And so the line tapers down to a smaller diameter also at that point. And so, but we were able to inspect 40 feet inside, and on the downstream or outside, we went all the way to the main, and everything looked great. That liner should be good for years to come to keep the roots out, and there was no trees close to where the tap is on the main, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. So everything looked great. Nothing, no defects found. So that'll end the inspection at 1310 Penbrooke Trail in Dayton, Ohio.